Lisa with a Walk Down Memory Lane. Today I'm making a card using a number of different supplies from a bunch of different companies today. The first thing we're going to work with is one of these cling stamps from Prima. It's the Julie Nutting Dolls. This is one of the smaller sets. It's specially sized for cards. Along with this stamp, I'm using some Nina cardstock because we're going to color her in with Copics. I am using a smaller template from the Crafter's Workshop. It's a Balzer bit. It's a 4x4 square, and this is the tiny rings. I'm using a little bit of the American Crafts glitter tape. This one is in the silver. This is great. It's self-adhesive glitter, so you get glitter without having the mess. I am using a 6x6 paper pad from Fancy Pants from It's Park Bench. It's a little bit older. It's a little bit older collection, but I love these colors with the teal and the mustard and with the black, so we're going to use those colors to color in. I'm also using the Distress ink in the Pumice Stone. We'll have links at the bottom of the video to the store with everything that we've used. So the first thing we're going to do is start with our doll. And I am going to stamp her with the Memento Tuxedo Black ink. That I have found works the best for when you're wanting to do with Copic markers. And I'm going to use my Tim Holtz grid block to stamp her. I like these because it came with a bunch of different sizes. So I'm just going to take the cling mounted stamp and just put it on my grid block. It's stuck. She's not going anywhere. We're going to ink her up just like a normal stamp. Give her some pressure, especially in the middle part. I always feel like when I stamp I don't get a clean image, and that's because the middle part doesn't get as much pressure as the outside. So there you go. There's your little girl that we're going to color in. Clean off your stamp and set her aside. Okay, whenever I color with Copic markers, I always have an extra piece of paper underneath when I'm coloring, because these markers always bleed to the back, and that's fine. That's what happens with them. It's not a big deal, but I don't want that ink pooling on this sheet underneath, because if I move my paper, that ink is going to soak up to the paper, so I don't want to do that. So the first thing I always start with, and I mean always start with, is her hair. And the reason I do that is because if I screw up her hair, I don't want to have spent 15 minutes coloring somebody in and then have the rest of it, or have her hair not look very good. So I'm using some of the YRs, the 20, 21, 23, 24, and 27. I don't think I'm going to use all 5 colors on her because her hair is a little smaller on this. I always hold my markers in my left hand, and I have the brush tip on the bottom, like where my thumb is, so that I always know what color I'm using, and I know what color needs to come next when I'm doing some blending. So I'm going to start off with my lighter color, and I'm going to color her in with the lighter YR20. Just to give her a light base color. I'm going to come in with my second color, and I'm going to start working some of those shadows. And it seems like whenever I start coloring in, I end up too dark and I don't leave enough of the lighter colors. So I'm going to do my best to leave some of that lighter color showing through, so I've got a little bit more of that contrast. And you can notice I am leaving her bangs. I think I'm going to leave those until I have more of her hair or her skin colored in on her face and stuff, and just use that, some of the darker tones. Sorry, I always make this comment when I'm teaching classes too, is that it always gets quiet when people color because you have to concentrate so much. So I'm going to go in with this last little dark and just give a little bit more definition to some of those spots where hairs should be a little darker, like behind her headband, behind her neck, and just give a little bit more definition. I'm going to go back with that lightest color and just do a little blending. There we go. So we've got her hair done. Let me zoom in here quick and you can see what her hair looks like. And you can see I went outside the lines, and I'm going to have to fix that a little bit on her face. But there we have some hair. Again, we're going to go through and do her skin tone, and I always start with the lightest color. Give her a little base color here. Okay, that was with an E00. I guess I didn't tell you the colors. E00, E01, and E02. So now we're going to come with that little bit darker color again. Go where we need to throw some shadows. And we're going to go with E2, E02, and just a little bit darker on a few spots. I'm going to go back in with my lightest color and blend those out just a little bit. This stamp is relatively small, so I'm not doing a whole lot of blending with the little circles because she's kind of artsy-fartsy. So I'm kind of giving her a little bit more of a looser. I'm sorry. Okay, so here you can see, you can kind of see those shadows. I kind of want her to look like she was maybe painted. Not necessarily hard lines, but yeah, just I don't know. I just want to give her so she kind of looks like she's a little artsy. I'm going to go back in with my YR24. It's kind of that dark to medium color for her bangs. Go back in with the 27, just under where that headband goes. Alright, so there's my girl with my hair and her skin tone. I'm gonna take some of these BG colors and we're gonna color in her skirt. The BGs are 70, 72, 75, and 78. Again, I am lining the colors up in my hand so I can grab them and color in. Give her a real quick, loose color for this lighter color. Just kind of drawing in where I imagine those shadows are going to be. I think I'm going to have to color her in more with this darker color. That light is just too light to do any good blending with that big of a difference. Go back in with a really dark color. And then we're going to blend that out. Okay, I'm going to use this darkest color for her headband. And it's so small, I'm really not going to do any, blending at all. Just trying to get it colored. Same with her belt. And her shoes. There we go. So there she's colored in with her dress. Gonna finish up with her little daisies that she's got in her hand. That paper's got a little bit of yellow on it, so I'm gonna have a couple little tones of yellow flowers. And there we go. And it looks like her arm maybe is sticking out there, so I'm going to find one of my flesh tone colors again and just color in that and make that part of her arm. Okay. So there we go. I'll get you zoomed in a little bit so you can kind of see what she looks like after we're done. Okay, so there is our little girl. We will finish up the card, the background and that kind of stuff on the next half of that video. I just didn't want to make it too long. So here's the little girl colored in. We'll finish the card on the next video. And thanks for joining us. See you at the next time.